An eruption of cheers on the steps of the nation's highest court this noon. The Supreme Court justices handed down two landmark rulings on gay marriage. And these rulings mark a huge step forward for same-sex couples. We've got full team coverage this noon. We start with Jennifer Donnellan. She is live at the Supreme Court, where emotions were certainly on display today. Jennifer.
A landmark day here in the United States, a huge victory for gay rights activists. First, in a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court struck down the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA, ruling that legally married same-sex couples should receive the same benefits as married straight couples. Same-sex marriage is legal in 12 states and in the District of Columbia. The DOMA basically told those states that federal benefits did not apply to same-sex couples there. The Supreme Court ruled that was discrimination under equal protection of the law. Now to the second major decision involving California's Proposition 8, that state's ban against gay marriage. In a nutshell, the justices dismissed the case, saying it had no place here. A lower court had already ruled that the same-sex ban was unconstitutional. That was appealed by supporters of the ban, and the court ruled that they didn't have the right to appeal it in the first place. So the lower court ruling stands, clearing the way for same-sex marriage in California. So a victory for gay couples in California wishing to marry. But by refusing to hear that case, here's what the court did not do. They did not give a decision. They did not rule on the legality of same-sex marriage overall for the entire country. Now, for more reaction on all of this, we're joined by our colleague John Gonzalez, who's been here at the Supreme Court throughout the morning. What was the overall feel here when those opinions came down?
Jennifer, perhaps not a grand slam today, but definitely a satisfying day, a victory, if you will, for the hundreds who have been literally camped out here outside of the Supreme Court for days now. And just a few got a chance to go inside and get a glimpse of history. Of course, many anticipated this ruling would come down yesterday, but we all know yesterday was focused on voting rights. Well, now, June 26, known as the day that history was made here at the nation's highest court, and easily 90% of the crowd that rallied here this week, marriage equality advocates, and the crowd ballooned just before the ruling came down at 10 o'clock this morning with signs and flags waiting here in the heat. The advocates erupted in cheers when they spotted those news interns that have become very popular here this week, running out with details of the decision from the 9 justices. And when word spread about DOMA being struck down, it was utter euphoria and celebration. And we can tell you, people have traveled. One family from New York, a husband and a wife, said they wanted their children here to experience this firsthand and not just read it in a textbook. We also spoke with a gay woman who lives here in Capitol Hill. She's a federal employee. She says this DOMA decision will truly change her life.
I pay $4,200 a year more because I have to file single. We have 2 small children, and I am absolutely ecstatic at today's decision. It's absolutely the right decision. I am incredibly proud of my country. I am proud of my president, and I am especially proud of the Attorney General, Eric Holder, who made a decision last year that he would not defend DOMA because they recognized that it was unconstitutional. Today, the Supreme Court agreed.
So what's next? We've been talking to members that were out here, members of this crowd, this loud and vocal crowd. We spoke to a pastor from California who's working in Virginia, a female pastor. She says now it's time to branch out what 12 states in the district have already done and find marriage equality one state at a time. Reporting live this afternoon at the U.S. Supreme Court, John Gonzalez, ABC 7 News.